Certainly, I mean, they didn't get the calling right, and I mean, when the full back is under possession like that, the goalkeeper must stay behind in his line because there's every chance it's going to break, and it did. And as Anthony said, I mean, this guy Thomas Breen has been very, very quiet. I mean, the Galway full back line have been outstanding. I think your man Declan Connolly to me has been a star performer there. Number 2, he's been fantastic. But unfortunately, they've leaked those 2 scores. They should be well ahead of half time.
They need to steady themselves from a Galway point of view, Cyril, obviously, and get back in this game because they can, because they've shown us in that first half they can score some very good points when they put their mind to it.
Oh, yeah, earlier than like Bernard Buck, he's gone out, like they have moved the team around, like, you know, Bernard Buck is actually playing the corner, has great pace, would have 2 sides, usually a full forward, like, you know, look at this, going back onto his right here, dodges down, flicks it over the bar, like, and he's quite capable of doing this now. You know, at times you nearly think he takes too much out of the ball, but like he has that electrifying pace, this time over on his left side, left to right, this guy will whip him over, started off very well and always seems to be kind of in cruise control. That's Niall Buck, he's no relation to that more and more, gets his ball up, he's about 65 yards out, has a look up, and they did some wonderful shooting early on, like early on all the Galway points came from play and the Kilkenny points came from frees.
Yeah, I suppose to say, like, you look at Kilkenny the last day in the semi-final as well, right? I mean, they were very slow starters. I mean, Tipperary had all the possession, looked as if they were going to go away in the canter, but slowly but surely Kilkenny came back into the match. Certainly, I mean, you would look at it in the second half that Galway need to up the pace considerably.
That's what a good team does, isn't it? Sneaks up and you like that. Now, just let me give you a reminder, of course, about the start time of this year's Senior All-Ireland Hurling Final. The big game between Kilkenny and Waterford throws in at 3:30, and then it's 70 minutes of non-stop action to see who will be crowned champions of 2008. Now, the match commentators for the big game are Ger Canning and Michael Dignan. They are, of course, here at Croke Park already and looking forward to this meeting between these great rivals. So why don't we hear from them right now?
Thanks very much indeed, Michael. It's when you come down to the pitch side here, you begin to realise just how many Waterford fans are going to be here this afternoon. Michael, I think they're probably going to outnumber Kilkenny by about 2-3 to 1. Does this remind you in any small way of Clare against your guys Offaly back in 1995?
I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up, Jared. Anthony Daly will be smiling upstairs. But yeah, I think it's a very similar setup. Huge Clare crowd here that day. And, you know, Waterford, if the supporters can bring you over the line, they'll have a huge burn on the game today. But what Clare had was real leaders. Brian Lohan, Shawnee McMahon, Anthony Daly himself. And they all performed on the day. So if Ken McGrath, Tony Brown, players like that, Brick Walsh and Dan Shannon not having as good years as last year, if they can stand up to the mark today, you know, it puts Waterford right in there.
Did Waterford, did Offaly at that stage, did they have the same hunger that they had in 1994? Will Kilkenny have that same kind of hunger this afternoon, do you think?
I think we had the hunger, but we probably underestimated the effect of the whole country being behind Clare and the passion and the intensity that Clare brought that day and the huge crowd. So, you know, I'd expect Kilkenny going for 3 in a row will certainly have that hunger.
So your tip for the afternoon, your forecast, are you going along with the popular view? It has to be the Cats?
Yeah, I think they'll be the first team in hurling football ever to win 6 All-Irelands in a decade, and I think they'll go down as one of the great teams of all time.
Okay, Michael, thank you very much indeed. Well, the teams will be running out on the field in about an hour from now. Well, the atmosphere is building, the nerves are jangling, and that's just Michael and myself. Back to you, Michael.
It is, the crowd is in very early for this match. A very good crowd, even at this stage during the minor game. Great atmosphere inside Croke Park here, and of course around Croke Park as well. Now, we've heard from Ivani Quillen a little bit later on. Let's rejoin Ivani again.
I'm joined now by 2 men who would gladly forfeit their tickets for today's game in exchange for a place in the dressing rooms under the Hogan stand. Donlo Cusack of Cork and Alan Kearns of Galway. Donlo, if I could come to you first, you've played Kilkenny this season. What do you think Waterford have to do in order to beat them?
I only think, you know, look, Kilkenny are a fantastic team. They're going for 3 in a row and, you know, in a way, I suppose, dominated the game over the last number of years. You know, so you have to have absolute respect for the team that they have. You know, one thing about Waterford is Waterford have serious forwards. And, you know, I think they just need to, in a way, cut loose today and, you know, try and unleash the potential that they have. And if they do, and if they can stop Kilkenny getting goals and stay with them for as much of the game as possible, I'd give them a great chance.
It's been difficult to score goals against Kilkenny this season. Will Waterford need a few goals?
I think they will, and I think they will get a couple of opportunities as well. The thing is, will they take them? You know, because Kilkenny, you know, whilst they will give you a number of opportunities, they're not going to give you many in the game. And, you know, but having said that again, like I said, Waterford have very, very good forwards and, you know, guys that under day that are capable of beating anybody, and I suppose that's why I give them such a good chance.
Well, Alan, much like Galway, Waterford have been knocking on the door in the last number of years. Is there any danger that the occasion might get to them today?
It's a possibility. I think it got to Limerick a little bit last year, and they hadn't been there in a while, and Kilkenny went 2-3 to no score up. You know, I think Waterford have to just concentrate on the job at hand and stick with Kilkenny, at least for the first half anyway, and stay in the game. If they can stay in the game with Kilkenny, don't let them get their early goals, and then you never know what can happen.
Call it so.
It's hard to back against Kilkenny, but I have a sneaking feeling for Waterford. You know, you know, the year nobody expected to win the semi-final, they actually won it. And sometimes, you know, when it's your year, it's your year. And for the likes of Tony Brown, Ken McGrath, and all the great servants, it'd be lovely to see them win an All-Ireland medal today.
All right, Alan Dundalk, thanks very much for the moment. That's the expert opinion. Back to you, Michael, in studio.
It is indeed. Now it's back to this minor hurling final between Kilkenny and Galway. So Toshe and Amagin and Ishdal Trastan do Michal O'Shea done Dorolat.
Gur maithagad agus Kilkenny chun cín a láthar na huaire cúig faointe Paras Baidecha agus láthúil aimsithe lena choisinecha ceann duine ige Joe Brennan agus Thomas Breen gan éins chulthós aimsithe ige Ngalib bhíon Ngalib chun cín le feach sealach ridim le deire sa chéad le an sa Einig Kilkenny go mór chun cín agus a láthar na huaire cúig cín de faointe Paras Baidecha Lá even gréine mar a chéinship an sa a bhar go frócaig an a rónach het fad da mána íocht agus a harú in na Gailí Brian Flaherty istig den Gailib Brian Flaherty istig den Gailib agus Rory Fay imethe ó in na Gailí mar sin a harú dianta an sa in na Gailí an slitter caite isteach mar sin an slitter caite an sa agus éana luútaréitar David Burke so Richard Doyle mar sin slitter buirteisteach I dro an chúl báide teachtamach an sa gurí Alan Cuddihy want Harris Lord de Portke aan of Loyal het fad Sanair diantan sunnig at Donald Cooney ja leis an Gailib score gáile dús a tarna le deisige Bernard Burke Bernard de gáile steach mí báide chance at sein chól miále an Niall Burke chance fósig an Niall Burke bhfuiltig an Niall agus puck cúgvéidir agus trífa hit an chiad ceann puck cúgvéidir agus trífa hit an slitter an son ag Bernard Burke trasna aige báide Anna Gish an son ige Niall Burke a ché mí ábharach agus nésanna mí ábharach ceart Niall Burke mar sin Dish an so ige David Burke seo hé David bhfuilte ige David agus bhfuilte go maith ige David Burke an chiad faointe sa tarna le ige Gailib an dána líidecha chu an ducha siad tar náis Goed pointe atra inis. Owen Murphy. Count Joffada. Niall Donoghue. Agus puck here. Dun Ngalib. Marcin. Puck here and so. George O'Halloran. Wilton Trasna na Portke, Donald Fox. Niall Quinn. And the Stachatsa and Ruher. Donald Fox, chance post to Lashley. Bernard Burke. Mehwig. Dish post again Ngalib. Wiltigus, Harrison Trasna and get Donald Fox in it and Lloyd. Marcin an Padlár Portke, Donald Fox, tar na Gaeltachta, in Erin Lloyd, agus an Counson, bhfuiltige ráfeinte Marcin as a chéile ag an Gailib sa tar na leat. All of Owen, Marcin, idir na fórne, a láthar na huaide. Niall Donoghue. An the Treblin, Mehe o Alan Cuddihy. Tach the Gowded, Conor Fogarty. Winter O'Connor Foma. Ryan Flaherty Corok. Ryan Mehwig, Winter O'Connor, Carl Kenny. Dachal Ashley. Declan Connolly, Mehwig, through the chance to go Walter Welch, Walter Welch, Miel oh, me over, Mahmoud. On Darago, Lishing Island, and Valkison. Oh. Macht stechet so Lewis Lasserach, Walter Welch a macht pose a macht betrayal an báidóid teachtamach agus currada bhuiile agus inis tá Kerikeen cur Erboliagan agus tá Walter Welsh Dalab Gortige. Ne Walter. Nensane an Baidewid Fergal Flannery a Churdabwile agus Marshin McCownson mehe amu Nailin. Walter Welsh o chláiste na dechúrle agus bhí sé gimmert rugger le scoilena Lion Choma agus colcahare de Joan Codihi I bhíh na chluí Olympica. Mar sin Richie Mulrooneyson Manish Dewid agus chéir faointe idir na fórne I gcónaí. Bachta go glótas an éir an saga Niall Burke. Niall an mór ár ach puc séir ní ha. Puc séir do puise har sé déh líne se mar sin puc déh líne a bheith gán de Kilkenny. Niall Burke san agus lasmud an líne se lasmud an líne agus puc slasa a bheith gán do Michael Maloney. Bhain sé count an roada. Bachta har náise go Niall Burke de sé lige Dechalá slí ach seothe Conor Fogarty. Bhiltige Conor. Bachta go déasige Alan Dolan seothe Alan an isis. Nachtar ruhar. Dechalá slí dí Niall Burke mi hiwig go dí ina daí Brian Flaherty. Mi hiwig siúd chomá Quinte go agus Conor Fogarty. Lana and Clittis, she's fem báid go dí Thomas Breen. Go he Thomas. Córach na chuine Donald Cooney. Asna na páidce. Bachta go déasige Rory Hickey. Bhiltige Rory agus Shanson suige Martin Gaffney. Whoa! Anna fón gorach ag fad. Os fan Shansige. Ach an an lé Niall Donoghue. Anna chosan diantige Niall. Bhiltige ach droiceann. Thomas Breen, Jessica Thomas, there's Dacha Joy on the void, sorry, who's taking me on the void. Get my do with the Machgadi, Ronan Burke. Oh, Ollie Gailiv about the sun. It will Sheliv about the sun. Conor Fogarty, Parallel Hagimmert Guma, a Harsha Devline and Bautis. Marshin. See Quinte Ha, Idern the Fordnet. Nick Eddie Keen, 3 Keen, then scored cat. David Burke van de council of Walla. Take David, want to go Mahige. Ashley, David Healy. Roadi. Brian Flaherty, chance against Niall Burke and his Weltic and Niall, against Weltic and Niall, Harris and Drasnon. And Riley Vidian of the Mass, the Cardinal, the Sacha Cardinal. Ninsona, Niall Burke, the Kenny team, August of 15, Mark Dwyer, attack the staff, August Martin Gaffney, Igmach. Martin Gaffney, Imihid and Pod, Mark Dwyer, Ishtig. Nen hier de Haru, dat no wie Mark Gimmert, an Laudernach. En I hover het on. Ja, vader. Achtige glote en zo get Donald Cooney. Agus puck say it no hige. En Riley with tachter nice. Gedaan het gegaan. Lede kele. Het hoogte op de kuslein. Afweinte atre. En hij doet glohe. Dona hij doet. David Burke. Dan je gaat gaan rode hit. Van de cancer of wall. Out more hard. Ja, vader. Beim na live clay, they may hit a move again Island. Parna count, Shinille, Parna count, Hopper, and Bolia, again Marshin, and Pokamach, or Kilkenny, a sneer boy, Kilkenny, in count, down Bock on the hands, the Kirla.
Substitution of the Galway team.
In the Island. Agashineer, Spirit, for Floyd, attack the staff, that no, Okoid, Anna Stadium, at Fad, no shoot. Agus iad sa chluthe canis den iad blian ó méideag 63. Lá anna bhór anna háchtach dóibh siúd. Agus iad an achtarsteach na seomarí festis an so. Duine ghuine. Agus an immert leanúnta raig an so amo. Agus Davy McGarrett an son. agus é a dúirt misneacht oedd ar fad, agus iad y meachtasteach sa siomar i festis. Agus siohi an immert, dim o a lor na poetge yn so. Áfeinte ha atra a gona i. Kilkenny gyda erig dolid yn o'n si, ach a drach iawn yn rhaid y cawn samach rhaid. Masyn. Sne yn siew cawn cwrmw tige Kilkenny. Agus iladi i gangailif. John Cannon ystig agus Niall Quinn imihe. Sne John, tachtastach agus Niall Quinn y ffogan na poetge. Masyn aharahe i gan dahef. Na máte an immert ag an a bainistúirí inis agus siachún Cahal Kenny, cé yoga chiad scór elinsa, bhfuilte go dása go Cahal dí Walter Welsh. Walter stechal áslí, fachta go glúte ansa ag a Thomas Breen agus, well, éime heróada leis istitar i deir moltóid, mar sin pogsa ar a bheith ann dung meileh. Agus ní Thomas Breen róhásta leis sin rud ag an ráitige, agus go sé cárta buí mar geallach chud Kainte y capin, nis mona einrod. Se, cárta buí da Thomas Breen, roedd eich yn roetin sy'n ege leis y moltwyr i capin. Mar sin, pwcsair dda ngailin, offeinte atra, siachwn Gerard O'Halloran. Iawn bia ffada bwyltig y Gerard. Agus, mynd sy'n y gyfer, Hirig. Bwyltimach gyda lor na poel gyffachta mohig y David Burke. Wiltshire and Counson, Roada, Sarah Higg Michael Maloney, Walter Ike, Walter Welsh, Shantiga Walter, Tura Shefe, Calmore Fada, Achterna Lividish on Shachto Count, on Sheo Count, Kuramu, and so again Kilkenny. Matty Murphy, Imnich, she had off into Fendedic, Martian Hain, Nimmer to the Rocha on the Mahagoni. Agus seo dyn gas na hynny dde, Martin Dolphin. Trasna yn sog ydi Bernard Burke. Bernard Burke yn eich siansig yn Vernal i ddwdi yn fwynt y fain. Calmore fada o Bernard ach Nietzsche Creen yn baltasa yn trio cawn cwrmw i gangailin. A hwbyr sin cwrmw i gan Kilkenny ach marsian hen. Níl atra ach o hoffeinte. Agus sin ein clog. Agus sin ein o'n Murphy. Wyltige o'n. Wel, Caffer yn slither sa ysdech atra yr wyst. Gan ein sgôr ffws y geg Kilkenny sa tarna le. Sio he, Martin Dolphin. Martin gyffwl. Wylte gyd Erik Niall Burke o gaim siw. Niall, fachtig yn Niall. Raisha Roher. For glóti, lorg o slither sa her, David Burke. Chance ag David, wylte ag David, agus yn isch ni lawn ach yn pwynt y fain. Ond parna pwynt ag David Burke. Mar sin, ein pwynt y fain idir na ffwrna. Agus sy'n yn son. Niall Burke, bwol yn clytr gyda David Burke, agus David haras y dras na on. Agus gan ein sgôr ffws ag Kilkenny sa tarna le. Mar sin, pwynt y fain ys garwn na fwrna. Machlis y slwtr, haras lor na poetgi. Keigioig, yet scorele. Donald Cooney, Mihwig, Walter Welsh, Edith Olive, Pachten in Lega, Alan Dolan, Alan the Derek Schliegen of the head, Wiltige Alan, Agus College, Stilta and Son, and Martin Dolphin, Buck serve no Hege, Jessica David Burke, Esliu Quinta I'm shoe, Agus and Score of Horamu. Pachten here. De rede gele, a Janna begin Gailiv, and so, Lohi Canish. Yadana Ilte, daar no, again Matty Murphy. Hey David Burke, Shimol Rooney, Agus, Wild Town Council Kuramu, get Martian Tashiat Queen to close Condedi. Agus, Martian, in the Hodi, Fidin, Port Lloydge, Agus, he had a went law on the peepe, as the Glohit Minoid and so, he had a stone the grain. Agus gan ein chomero imni chora rymisig lohi canish. Derek. Smut an atmosphere of lashe. Declan Connolly, Mihewig, agus Shachuin, Kilkenny, agus Thomas Breen, agus Cousin Gama, so Ronan Burke, agus Declan Connolly, Ned and Lay, One and Clitted, Markedy, Lord na Poitke, Sullivan, so, again Martin Dolphin, Trana Yasser Fadda, Sugady, David Burke, Anna Yeshiga David in Isham Baltasa, agus a Yesh Toka Higa David, and 3 points Higa David Burke, Tasha that close goal, a Barca Croaky. David Burke, agus Peter na Gailey, Nisa Hostanish, Namar Vider, Goed Pointico, Satarnala, Yeder Poscore, Homadan Gugio Bauta, agus Ganoin score Fosig a Kilkenny, Satarnala. Townsend Pachtaga Glote and Son, again Martin Dolphin, and Tunadi the end of Gama, Ohana Shechan Park, Dishan Sir, again Michael Maloney. Michael Maloney, Walter Welsh, Nish Shahe Cahal Kenny, Wiltiga Cahal, agus Neil Ain scored Fos again Kilkenny Satarnala. Cúg Nomati Diag, Ganain scored o Kilkenny, Cúg Nomati Diag. Marsin, Schneensson aga dhe, Machgeri Lord na Poitke, agus into the Hinna Gailey, Tiatam Gama, John Cannon, Rasna na Poitke, Gabe Wehige Cancer, Canson Tug and Nile Dunahu, Bachtig and Nile, Yerach level of call. James Gannon the Koruk. Well, William Multoid, and his litter, Hahavatra, Kadianashe, Ilishele Connor Fogarty, Nish Martin, Bertung and a chance to get Thomas Breen, it could be Bertin Play, on Vaishan Kiat scores, the Tarnala, the Kilkenny, Thomas Breen, will take a hard, Achnivai, Kuramu, again, Martin, we shift the Nile, Ochkin and Ish Kura, Ed Boliagar, again Kilkenny, Agus, the Fortnite, Ed Co scores, near on Son, Winter Kilkenny. Veder Aberdeen Imnir, Richie Mulroney, Tom Shuralta, Gavillanin, Sorrel, take a shoot, Homa, Shahun in his Nilebur, Chansigan Isle, Dolphin Keen, and Rishiat Hankin, Wintigan Isle, like a Tashiat Hankin, on Kuyu Painte, again Nilebur. Mashin, Beshe, Anna Hostelishin. Nilebur, Gamachta Stachansa, Agus, on Kuyu Painte, and statistic, is talk these stocha, Gawil and Gailey, Pointe Keen in ish. Anna wants an Iriga Donald Coney. And we have Wegafach. Chance Harnashige, Bachta Harnashige, Count Brea Fada. Ish, Kevo Higarasa. Whoa, Chance and Soga, Richard Cummins. Go here, Richard. Anna Geshiga Richard. Agaston, Gailey, Pointe Keen. Richard Cummins and Bautason. Agus. Pointe Canúnach Pachtaige. Winter na Gailey. Ladley is a hostel o'hin. Viachar Shin and Son. Goday Cosanar de Dientige. Agus an Vert Dientige. David Healy. Agus an Pointe Aimshihige. Marshin. Shach Pointe Asakele. Shach Pointe Asakele. Again Gailey Satarnala. Ronan Burke. Wiltige shoot. Achtige Glote and Sanairige Alan Cudahy. Score Tastalo Kilkenny, Connor Fogarty. Wiltige shoot, Stachel Ashley, Desha Curtinish, Agus a Master Stachan, so Joe Brennan. Chancega Joe, Inish Guri, Peter McCarthy. Chance Fosaka, Agus Wiltige, Mark Dwyer, Agus a Counson Kuramu again, Mark Dwyer. Me Overach, and Tinedy, Honig and Poitke, and Son. Mark Desha Stachanson, Peter McCarthy, Mihewig, Mark Dwyer, Agus a Nille and a year, and Mark, Agus a Counson, Kura Amuge. Agus and Son, Gerard O'Halloran, Nagali, Agus a amount of Portlaish, Warna Huide, Martin, and Hoid, Etachwege, Gerard O'Halloran, Gaidem Squell, Villan Rui, Agus Watersud, Craven na Hayden, Imliana, Martin, agus Sinead Anson, Richie Mulrooney agus Purin Portláirge I meachtasteach na Siomraí fiste sinis don Lohamúr Vega Gwins na Sala I Gansa ach Níl éon fogsair tu go hibuha ag an Gailib sa tarna le. Níl éon fogsair géilte go sa tarna le agus sin countas na cúisna ná fuil éon scór aimsithe ag a Kilkenny go dísa. Schlitter an so ag Alan Cuddihy ach sin count go hibuha nisise go fogsair da Kilkenny ach Anna Hamel ón Máide. Mar sin leis an so ag Michael Maloney Seché Michael leis an countsa chur haris a drasnáin agus an bhearna a léadú go dtí éon pointe a bháin Seché Michael an Schlitter builtige Jó imil na carnóige Schlitter a dalamh Bachta itson ag Alan Dolan agus fogsair tochtach nóige Alan Dolan. Bhíar a measna gus an tóidí an Baltason agus be siad sásta le sin Sinead Alan Dolan I teachtamach chalaistiantaid gólas an ocht agus mar sin fogsair ó Joe Brennan agus an baideúid a hócaigh an countsa Fergal Flannery Bhfuiltige Fergal Niall Burke bachta go glóirte an Niall Burke Goed feinte go dísa, isteach trú, imil na carnóige, methe díadach ag héam na láimh lé agus amach leis a gansa. Poc amach, methe mú bóliagar an Baltason ag an Niall Burke. Tá digín da feintí na Gailí, fachta go ónimmert, trí cín ó focan na saoire agus na hunnadathe Martin Dolphin in na measca díanamh go díal ó handach an páitce agus seo an Niall Burke. Schlitter Pasalta aige gan Niall ach Sara hinsa buinte go Ronald Fox ag Michael Maloney amach at todi Joe Brennan chance go siúd scór a gáil de Kilkenny Joe meach anna luas fé Joe het cos an arde count anna hocht a haib blockalt and son ag trúr timplaid bí trúr timplaid agus siodaidir agus snéh blockáile Declan Connolly anna count anna teflín fachta go glótige Alan Cuddihy Ananam Sachlohenish, Alan Cuddihy, Trastan the Portgady, Michael Maloney, Brechown Michael. Chanson, sir, again Bernard Burke. Agus. Most, Anna Chorach, sir. Anna Chorach, Thomas Breen, Seviachant. Agus, Richard Doyle in Edinburgh, Palestine to Richard Doyle. Machine, Kilkenny Gerdala, a Gerig, a Gate score a oil. So, Aksha, Par Kilkenny son agus anna blockáil fad dianta ag Niall Donoghue ach seohé Michael Maloney Néan son Niall Donoghue an blockáil dianta ach seohé Michael Maloney an gudi sin countsa haris a drasnáin ó anna ár féad na láimh diise agus imithe góliagar imithe mó ní henó sé le Kilkenny méid sin Suas le digín inis digín cur mú ag Kilkenny. Danny Purcell a bhlíine inis. Agus sníad loch tacaíochta Fortláirge agus Kilkenny. A downta chéilean son, dantó Corsten Bhéaldairis. Agus Pocamach a bheith gann, Fergal Flannery. Bhailteisteach agus, well, Bachta tug David Healy. In there well on boy. Here you get counter. Oh, a chance to tug Kilkenny. Well, Emihimu, Ian County, Joe Brennan and Baltason. Well, and Bratton Hardigan, Meyer, near if she's in a stake. Ishimu, Martin, Derek Shah, and Castigan Meyer, and Captain Patton Baltigan. Níl éon scór fós ag Kilkenny sa tarna le. Donald Fox léon sanna agus an countsan a Dave Michael. Mar sin, tá Luke Madden take histeach na nailibh, tá Donald Fox a mithe, tá Danny Purcell istig agus tá James Gannon a mithe. An bheithlár páirce i mithe mar sin duine ó Kilkenny agus duine ó nailibh agus an Multoid an son Cathal McAllister. Danny Purcell is stig, James Gannon imihe. Agus Luke Madden is stig, den Aliv, agus Donald Fox imihe. Marsin, an Schlitter y Mohalar na Poetke. Sara and so, again Richard Doyle. Marsin. Ni hymach haris y dweblina agos le Kilkennig yn Council. O gofeinte idir na ffwrn, do cwg i fi Kilkennig ig lahawn. Marsin, ni'n ein sgôr ig Kilkennig sa tarna la ffos. Marsin. David Healy. Iawn bra ffada bwyltige. Fachten so ge Alan Dolan. Tachtamach ar eist. Ond ddartiad gyda David Burke. Iawn bra ffada o David. Agus disyn so ge Richard Cummins. Fachta ge Richard. Chance bos ge Richard. Yerich Schlian of the head. Well in ish keo ge council. Jansen, Tevmi Castan Leonton against John Cannon. John Cannon, Fana Talon, Sinead Suna, Achan Tevmi Castan Leonton, I'm Shahiget. Marsin, on Dauphin Tikirna Atra, Ghanaian score against Kilkennig, Satarnale, Achmorai Chiat Cool, Bishiat Rinkeen. Oh, Anna Wall, Erfad, Anna Hossent, Ayanavatson, Satarnale, and Niall Donahu, well, Bishakamasa Kiet Lachoma. Shahuin, Michael Maloney. Michael, pass Harnash, the Alan Cuddihy. Alan Cuddihy, Mach Ben North, Mach Harris Lord the Poetke, Agus Dish and so, and Ishige, Danny Purcell, Danny Gallista, and Ishige Danny, Wiltige Danny, gets on Kiet score, Satarnala, the Kilkennig, again Danny Purcell. Marsin, and feet of oil in her Abra. Rory Hickey, the Fog in the Poetke, Agus Kenneth Maher Takahistach. Agus Rory Hickey, Sinead and son Danny Purcell, agus an pointe aimsig ach Canis Mahar take histach na Kilkennig, Rory Hickey imihin. Chancel inso ag Kilkennig. The Machlish. Sarhe, agus Sarhe gama in an loy inso ag Brian Flaherty. Brian Flaherty, Stachel Slee, goody David Burke. Begge hier score Lana Kenuna. David van het Talon. Kort kusje voor een son van Cathal Kenny. Agus Jessica Kilkennig. Marsin. Chancige Kilkennig. Chancige Joe Brennan. Beide de score gohormu, maar wint je vader gohen. Toere chef edieren. Heel de tri gedisige, ach nie he hoke gekansen, nie he ach David Healy, agus daasigen gebe diermed onkel show, diermed wie in de weine stoel, wie in de haar weine stoel, Ivali, agus Kilkennig, ach on gohormoig David on score, bij Kilkennig, hou bra vader, emmel de karnoige, Ardelo, chance me avoide. Litter Dalov, agus kafferish litter stach after. Wel, mar a cynshif, ein pwynt o foen ha atra, agus ein pwynt o foen ha aimsig a Kilkennig sa tarmelach cawn anna hochtach, agus cawn sa miel o foedi. Aws deini, had a hard loig, with a coffer a cawn sa stach. Haite stach. Cansig a Kilkennig, miel o foedi, vai siat gol. Stiget sag a Danny Purcell. Danny Purcell on Trinity, a fwyr yn pwynt o roedd, agos yn ish yn pôl fachtige, e bene yn pôl o fwyhig yn chlyhe da Kilkennig. Stitter, ffaite, bwylte tras na gyda Danny Purcell, stahan le'n tân, agos eich diantigen yn y dwy da Kilkennig. Ni sgor o le'n ilil sa tarnale a chwy postwydd. Sio yn y dwyle Canis Mahar, ach ta irych blokalpa, agos yn ish y fi cyw, ha Kilkennig o gofeintach yn cyn. Aum Anna Kenuna had fad in her Aimshek, Danny Purcell and Counson, Michael Maloney, Sinead Bannistoid, Richie Maloney, the Rimishin, Matty Murphy, ach, Michael Maloney da Kilkenny. Van at Tevline. At Canis Maher. At die Khwashi Rouada. Machley big accounts on a hoogte at Fad. Michael Maloney. Gahe Michael da Kilkenny. Jacha John Khoine, Thomas Breen agus Ronan Burr. Bachtige Ronan Burr. Machley Schlitter. Nome te boin agus Peme dame brische Cadoi gemoltoid. Michael Welch in is hem achter Rohan Buntegohige Bernard Burr. Fagadig Bernard account.